Hi everybody, this is Frank Kern. I'll skip the fancy introduction. The name of this video is called How to Make Lots of Money Forever. I know that's what you want to do, and that's what I want to show you how to do, so we'll get started. First of all, what I'm going to show you is working really good for me. I'm pretty sure it'll work pretty good for you. It's worked well for everybody I know. Here's proof that it's working for me. The picture that you see here is a little screenshot from my salesautomator.com account summary. You see where it says client count right there? That's showing that I have 612,795 subscribers. This is for my niche business. This is not for my internet marketing quote-unquote guru business. All right, here's more proof. The screenshot you see here is from another account in Aweber. Again, these are active subscribers in Aweber for my niche business. So that's another 96,008 subscribers. So total of about 700,000 subscribers there, but we're in a hype-free zone here. Let me give you a reality alert. After the dupes and bounces and so forth, I really only have around 400,000 subscribers for these little niche businesses. Some of these email addresses are old and they're not valid anymore. So last time I checked, the real ones are about 400,000 subscribers. Still makes a lot of money. I'm not complaining. So let me show you how I built the list. It all relies on this secret magic formula. Okay? Yeah, big secret here. Are you ready? Here we go. First, you build a list of targeted leads, then you sell them some stuff, and then you sell them more stuff. And I'm not kidding, swear to God, that's pretty much it. The niche businesses I have do over $1 million a year in sales volume, and that's the big secret magic formula that I start. And I'll give you, or that I follow, and I'll give you a little secret here. That's really the big secret magic formula that everybody I know follows, right? It's no secret that I'm friends with all the big names in the internet marketing industry, right? Well, that's pretty much what everybody does. We build a list of targeted leads, we sell them stuff, and then we sell them more stuff. That's pretty much it. So before we get started and before I really get into showing you how and the psychology behind the list building and all of that kind of stuff, I want to go over some like fundamentals here. Don't know why people don't teach the fundamentals. Maybe because they're not sexy or exciting, but they are what makes money. Makes money for me anyway, so here we go. Fundamental number one, you have to be targeting a market that actually buys stuff. Imagine that, okay? The market that you're targeting, they have to want what it is you're selling. All right, so if you don't have either of those two things, no point in building a list because you're in the wrong market, selling the wrong stuff. Third thing is you have to be cool to these people and actually provide value to them, or none of this stuff will work. So you know how you see like gurus come and go or whatever. A lot of times they'll get those first two pieces right, but they're not cool to the subscribers. They don't really give anything of any value, and that's why they go away forever. Well, you can't do that. You always want to be providing value to people, or none of the stuff I'm about to show you is going to work. So let's start with the market. Okay? First of all, a list of people who've never been interested in buying stuff is a waste of time. You don't want to build a list of those kind of people. I see people do it though. All right. So if you targeted a list of people whose main topic was why I hate buying stuff on the internet, probably not the best group of people to target building a list of, right? All right. Common sense, but needs to be said. Okay. Now, a hot market is a market that's proven to be responsive. It's not a market that we personally are passionate about or whatever. Hopefully the two collide there and we're passionate about a market that's proven to be responsive. But really what you want to focus on is a market that actually buys stuff. Okay? And it's super easy to figure out if a market is responsive if you just ask the right questions. And here are my secret magic questions. Are you ready? Here they are. This is big, heavy stuff. Question number one, are they buying stuff now? If they're buying stuff now, pretty good indicator they're a pretty good market, right? Question number two, are there lots of people spending money to reach them? AKA, is there advertising in this market? Again, pretty basic stuff, but basics have worked out pretty good for me. Third question is, has this been going on for a while? Now, as simple as these questions appear, the reality is they're really that simple. So I want to walk you through now exactly how to figure this stuff out. So let's go examine a little market. All right? Let's switch over to the old screen cam view here through the magic of editing. Here we go. Okay, so we'll deal with the first question. That is, are they buying stuff now? All right, well, here's how I like to figure that out really for sure. I use a little website you might have heard of a couple times called ClickBank, okay? And ClickBank is awesome. They're a great little service provider to help you take orders and everything and help run your affiliate program. Been doing business with them forever. However, they're also a good little market espionage place. For example, let's say that you're thinking about starting a list for golfers, okay? And you want to know if people are buying golf stuff on the internet. Let's say specifically you want to start selling information products to golfers, okay? And you want to know if that's working out on the internet. Well, you can go to ClickBank, and then you can search their marketplace. That's what I just clicked on here to see what the best sellers are in certain categories. So, for example, if we want to look at golf stuff, I can go search for sports and recreation, and then I can go into subcategory golf, for example, and I can click go. And it'll show me, ranked by the number of sales, what's selling the best. Okay? Simple golf swing, ebook. All right, so now I know. 4 magic moves to winning golf. Simple golf book. Okay, so now I know people are buying golf information. The top 2 selling products here is golf information. Golf fitness guide. Well, that's information. Instant golf swing. All right, well, that's going to be information showing you how to do it. Golf swing test. Information showing you how to do it, right? So this gives us a pretty clear indication that people in the golf market are buying information products on the internet. Therefore, if we want to build a list with the intent of selling golf information products on the internet, we have our first little piece of evidence, right, that it's working out. We know that people are buying it. But our second question was, are there lots of people spending money to reach them? Okay, well, let's have a look. I'll go to Google, and I'm just going to type it in off camera here. I'm going to type in golf, and let's see, are people advertising under golf? Yes. See more sponsored links. So we've got several pages of sponsored links for people buying golf stuff or people advertising under golf stuff, right? So we know that people are spending money to reach golf guys, right? And I know this is really obvious basic stuff, but I promise you somewhere out there someone would be watching this video, and if I didn't show this, it would they'd get hung up on it and they wouldn't take action. And that's the point of my video. I want people to take action, right? So if you want to be more specific, to really make sure before you even bothered, we'd say like golf book. Let's see what happens. Well, what do you know? Golf book. People are spending money on golf books. So we got a full page of ads here on Google. Click on more sponsored links. We can see that we've got at least 2 more pages of ads in Google. Actually, you know what? Here, I'll scroll down. 3 pages of ads in Google. All right? So that's a lot of people spending money, to find golf stuff online. So that's pretty much it. That's how to determine if a market is worth messing around with in the first place. I didn't say product now, I just said market, if this is worth building a list in this market. Third question is, has this been going on for a while? You want to make sure that your market isn't just like a spike or a fad or something. Yeah, you can make money by tapping into fads and selling stuff to people who are in the heat of a new craze, but I prefer to advise you to stick with something that's going to make you long-term income. That's really better for both of us, right? Like if you're successful over the long term and I keep on putting out internet marketing products over the long term and you make money following my advice, then we both win, right? So I'd rather see you stick with the long-term stuff. Okay, so let's move forward now and continue getting you set up, building your own list, and making lots of money. Here we go. So that was how you find a market that's worth messing with, right? So now our other little key component to making all this stuff work is they have to want what you're selling, right? And I know that some folks watching this might not have a product to sell yet, but if you're going to start building a list, you at least have to have an end goal in mind, all right? So you want to have the intent that you're going to build a list and continually promote affiliate products to them, or at least you're going to continue, or you're at least going to develop your own product, right? So if you don't have your own product yet, that's no problem, but at least you need to know where you're going. You don't want to just build a list for the heck of it, right? So let's talk about a product, okay? This could be your product or somebody else's. First of all, look, here's reality, okay? I know lots and lots of internet folks want to hype you up and be like, yeah, internet's great, money everywhere, blah, blah, blah. Fact of the matter is, in business, internet business or otherwise, nothing happens until something gets sold. Neither you nor I are going to make a dime, typically, unless something is sold. Now, there's some cases online you can make money by just getting people to opt into different lists and stuff, but the vast majority of my money has been made by selling stuff. And every single person that I know, and I know a lot of them, who make money on the internet, make money by selling stuff, okay? Obvious, fundamental, non-sexy, all that's true, but that's the way it is, all right? So You can either sell your stuff or you can sell someone else's stuff as an affiliate, right? I believe you'll make more money if you focus on selling your own stuff. Okay? Now, let me prove that to you. Let's picture now in our minds all the internet gurus that we know. All the wild success stories of people online who've had lasting success. They all sell their own stuff. Okay? Sure, some of them might have started out as an affiliate, but they all sell their own stuff. There's a reason for this. More money in selling your own stuff. Duh. Okay? And brings us back to what this whole video is about. The point of having a list is to sell stuff. Okay? I'm not kidding. Like, don't build a list just to build a list. It's so you can sell them stuff. Right? Duh. I know. But hey, that's the way it is. So, here is, in terms of a product, the magic questions which reveal what will make you money. Okay? You ready? What kind of stuff is the market buying now? What kind of stuff do other guys spend money to advertise on? What kind of stuff has been selling a really long time? Okay, those are the 3 magic questions, right? I know this seems basic, but I'm telling you, as much as everyone wants to confuse the issue and be like, I'm going to tell you the big super duper secret to making money. Ain't any super duper secret, man. It's common sense, okay? Here they are. The point is, you only want to sell stuff that's been proven. No point in reinventing the wheel. So if you remember a minute ago, we were doing the old screen cam thing, and I was showing you we were walking around through ClickBank, and we were saying, well, what if you want to sell like information golf products? Well, we had proof that the market was buying golf-related info products, right? Because we saw right there in ClickBank's marketplace, the top products were golf information products. We knew that other people were spending money to advertise on golf-related information products because we saw them advertising in Google pay-per-click, right? And we know that kind of stuff's been selling a really long time. Okay, so all 3 indicators are there. That's probably worth building a list in that market if that's what you want to do. That's how I test all my stuff. That's my magic formula right there. See, now you know why I don't give a lot of big seminars, because I'd be up there on stage and it'd take like an hour and I'd be like, okay, we're done. That's all I do, right? All right, so you only want to sell stuff that's proven. No point in reinventing the wheel. Now, here's the ugly truth, okay, that lots of people want to gloss over. And I don't think we should gloss over this at all. We should celebrate it because it kind of forces you to build a list. The ugly truth is most people who see your stuff simply will not buy it, period, the first time they see it. They just ain't going to buy. All right, you talk about, wow, man, my website's killer. It got 10% conversion, visitors to sales. And like very few people ever get 10% conversion, especially from cold traffic. Well, guess what? That means 90 people who came to your website didn't buy. All right, and 10% is ridiculous. Like most of the time you see like 2 out of every 100 web visitors will buy your stuff. The other 98 go away. Okay? And listen, out of those 98 people, many of them may never buy your stuff. So even if you follow up with those people, if you have a list, they might still just not ever buy your stuff. And this is normal. It has nothing to do with you. Have you ever gone to a car dealership and looked at like a Honda or something and said, that's a pretty good Honda? Then you left and the Honda guy calls you a million times. You're like, yeah, I thought the car was cool, but I think I'm going to buy the Toyota or whatever. And we all do stuff like that. It's just the way it is, okay? So don't sweat it. But here's the deal. Almost all of these people will eventually buy something. Okay, and you might as well get paid when they do it. All right, and that is why, right there, that's why you build a list. And if that wasn't enough, all right, here's some more reasons to build a list, and literally, please, completely forever ignore anyone who tells you otherwise because they're out of their minds. All right, here's the deal. If you treat them right, even a small list will make you a fortune. I bet you always thought, you had to have a really big list, right? I'm going to show you something in a minute that's going to surprise you. If you treat them right, a small list can make you a fortune. Even if you stop adding subscribers to your list, a good list can pay you for years. So the bottom line is, you work once to build this list, and if you treat them right, you could potentially get paid forever. I heard it before, right? Okay, let me prove it to you that this is true. Now, I know recently we've seen a lot of really fancy videos, by the way, from, Stomper, my man Andy with his incredible video editing skills. Well, someone wrote to me the other day and was like, your mouse control videos sure aren't very fancy. We need some more fancy graphics. So you're about to see something really awesome. Are you ready? Okay, first of all, You see this little graphic here? This is a screen cam from my autoresponder system. And this is showing a mailing list I have called the Internet Marketing List. And if you look really closely, you can see that there are 7,236 members on that. Right? Look at there. Ha! Andy Jenkins, take that. Okay, there's my fancy video editing right there. All right, bye now. All right, just kidding. But really, look. 7,236 subscribers. Okay, you usually think like, gosh, these internet guys, they must have these giant lists. Well, that's ever since 2004, up until very, very recently when I just started teaching again in the past like 60 days. That was my entire internet marketing list. Okay, so you hear, man, Frank Curtis is killing it on the internet, making all this money. I got 7,236 people on my list. Now, not anymore. My list is bigger, right? Because now people are promoting me, and it's huge. It's growing, literally sometimes over 1,000 subscribers an hour, which is crazy. But the point I'm trying to make here is when you do what I'm telling you to do, size is unimportant. The number of subscribers are unimportant. Here's what's important: the quality. Okay, remember that little list I just showed you? No new subscribers at all have been added to that list since the end of 2004. That particular list right there. So it's now 2008. Okay, so you figure end of 2004 was really the beginning of 2005, and it's now the beginning of 2008. That's 3 years. No new people have been added to that list. 3 years. All right, I've been just completely underground. Okay. I did not publish a weekly newsletter or keep up with any regular communication with that list. All right, so in other words, I didn't work really hard. The only thing I did with those guys is I give them as much cool stuff as possible whenever I come across new cool stuff to give them. So I'm not just mailing them for the hell of it. I only mail them there's something really cool, and they know this, and they appreciate it because they get bombarded with everybody else, right? So what do you think that little tiny list has done for me since I cut off access to it back in 2004? Well, in the year 2005 to 2006 range, I launched the Serializer seminars exclusively to that tiny little list, which at that point was a little over 8,000 people. Some people have had the nerve to unsubscribe over the past couple of years. That's why the list is smaller. Either that or their email addresses quit working, I don't know. But the Serializer seminar, $1 million bucks, okay? 7,500 people on a tiny little list that I don't mail much, $1 million bucks. Pretty good. But as they say in the old infomercials, wait, there's more, right? In the year 2006, I promoted and created and ran, along with my man Ed Dale, the Ultra Underachiever newsletter. Over the course of the year 2006, that brought in another $1 million, okay? Now, in 2007, I kind of didn't really do anything. I sort of settled into life here in La Jolla. Did some behind-the-scenes stuff, I guess if you want to call it that, helping some of my buddies out with their big fancy launches and whatnot. But I mainly just worked in my little niches and kind of goofed off. Anyway, October 29th, 2007, did a little test run for Mass Control, brought in around $200,000 in under 20 minutes. Actually, the first class sold out in under 20 minutes or 29 minutes or something like that. And then I did a little downsell where they got less stuff, and that brought in the rest of the money. But one day, $200,000, right? So over that 2005 through 2007 period, that tiny little list I just showed you brought in $2,200,000. And that's me pretty much just messing around, because the whole time I was building my niche businesses as well, right? It's not like you've seen me all over the internet forever with all these promotions. You haven't, this is rocket science, or this is not rocket science, right? I've been laying low. Okay, so let me say it again. Let me just be as obnoxious as I can. You do not need a giant list. There's absolutely no point in you just beating your head against the wall going, I've only got a couple thousand people on my list. If you think a couple thousand people is small, try getting on stage and talking to a couple thousand people. That'll let you know how big a couple thousand people really is. People are people, right? Those are individuals. You don't need a giant list, okay? All you need to do is build a targeted and responsive list using the stuff I just showed you, right? You'd find good markets that are buying stuff, build a targeted responsive list in a market like that, and treat them well. And of course, you use a little Mass Control from time to time, okay? And when you do that, that's what really lets people know that you're okay and creates a bond with folks, and they buy stuff from you. So how do you do it? How do you build one of these big lists? I think I've sold you on building a list pretty good, right? Just in case there were some folks watching this who really wondered if you should build a list, all right? So here's my magic list building formula, okay? and I hope you to detect the sarcasm when I'm using the word magic here. You find something that'll help your market and that will be of value to them, okay? Then you offer it to them for free in exchange for their email address. And the third step is, you do that a lot. That is my magic list building formula right there, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not let the shock and awe overcome you. You know, but you might be thinking, gosh, man, I was really hoping you'd reveal some kind of crazy secret stuff in this video. Listen, man, this is how I built a list of over 400,000 and counting subscribers to my niche businesses. And remember, this is not joint venture stuff where, like in my little niche businesses, I'm, quote unquote famous or whatever, like I am in the internet marketing world. This is just people that have no clue who I am. I'm nobody, right? I use that same little formula right there to build a list of over 400,000 and counting subscribers in my niche businesses. Okay, it works. All right, now here are the mechanics of how it works. Are you ready for some more fancy video editing? I made these graphics myself. Here we go. Ready? Pew! Traffic. All right, you get yourself some traffic. Plow! You send it to a web page, kind of like my mass control page, where you have something cool and you're offering them something of value in exchange for the email address. All right, you ready for another one? And then, wow, look at that. Take that, Andy Jenkins. Some of those folks will join your list, right? Hey, rocket science. And some of those folks who join your list, they'll buy your stuff. There it is. That's the whole fancy diagram. Don't get mad at me and turn this video off. Okay, I'm going to walk you through how to do it. And I'm doing this, I'm kind of like joking around with this, but this is really all there is to it. So you're probably looking at this stuff and you're like, duh, Frank, tell me something I don't know. I've been hearing this for years. Well, guess what? I'm getting hammered by people saying, hey, I want mass control, but I don't have a list. Do I have to have a list? Show me how to make a list. So, apparently nobody's really taught this stuff well because people aren't taking action and doing it. So, just stick with me here. Let me walk you through it. I'll help you get a list. I promise you, this is really easy. All right? So I was wondering, I'm sitting around, I'm checking the old email. People were saying, Frank, I'm enjoying your stuff. This is great. And then, but, by the way, I don't have a list. I'm freaking out. Help me. So I decided to, take my Saturday here, overlooking the ocean right now. I make you this video. And I started wondering, well, why don't people have a list? Because what I just showed you is simple, right? This is nothing new. It's not like, oh my God, breakthrough, give away stuff in exchange for the email address, amazing. No, you know this stuff. So why aren't people building a list? Well, I figured people are getting hung up in several different little areas. So here are the big questions that I'm getting. Where do I get the traffic, okay, to drive to these opt-in pages that gives away the free stuff, okay? Big one right there, right? I'll show you, easy. Second one, well, what do I give away? Right? What kind of bribe can I have that'll get people to opt in? Do I need like a new flaming tomato plant or something really amazing to get people to opt in? What do I do? Valid question, no problem. And then, this is a big one that unfortunately not enough people really focus on. That is, how do I turn leads into buyers? Right? How do I get people to buy my stuff after they've joined the list? Well, that's a good question. Glad you asked that. Happens to be what mass control is all about. A little bit of a self-serving thing I put in the video here, but a valid question. And then, of course, for the technically challenged, how do I set all this stuff up? Well, I'm going to hook you up because you are nice enough to be on my list, and I practice what I preach, right? So I'll show you how to do all that stuff. Let's start off with traffic. Okay, here's the deal. The hype-free deal about traffic. You can either buy it, or you can get it from JV partners. Or if you're good at SEO and Web 2.0 stuff, you can get it from there. That stuff mystifies me. I don't understand any of it. I am a complete illiterate dunce when it comes to SEO, so we're going to just focus on the buying it or get it from JV partners, because that's all I do. Well, when it comes to my niches, I buy it. Okay? Here's where I get it from. The Google AdWords, the Yahoo paid search, some of them they're banner ads, and something called CPM mail drops, which for some unbeknownst to me a reason, nobody ever talks about it in the marketing world. That's where you pay giant email list brokers who have legitimate email lists to send email for you, advertising your free thing, which people then go to a website, give you their email address in exchange to receive. It's called a CPM mail drop. CPM stands for cost per thousand. Great way to get traffic to your website in a millisecond. No Google slap with that either. It's pretty good. And it's not spam. It's legit. I'll save that for another day, but that's pretty much how I get my traffic, right? And people, I think like a big reason people don't do this is because they get freaked out about buying traffic. You hear so much free traffic, free traffic, free traffic, free traffic stuff that you just think, okay, well, buying traffic is wrong, or they're afraid to take the risk or whatever. I understand, but I'd like to let you know why you might not be served by being freaked out about buying traffic here, okay? Here's the deal. If you do it right, the traffic you buy turns into leads or subscribers. I like to call them leads. That's really what they are. Let's call a spade here, okay? They're not subscribers. They're leads to buy your stuff. You want to treat them like gold, but in reality, they're leads, so let's call them leads. Now, here's the deal. Those leads will eventually turn into buyers. They'll either buy your stuff or they'll buy someone else's stuff, and in either case, you should be making money from it, right? And then those buyers turn into repeat buyers, okay? And if done correctly, you should make more from the traffic that you buy than you spend on the traffic that you bought. So let me just kind of break that down for you and show you how that really works, all right? Oh, yeah, you make a lot more than you spend. Okay, so like in my niche businesses and the peak of those businesses, they'll do maybe $100,000 a month in sales, and I'll spend $20,000 a month on traffic. Now, I don't suggest you go out and immediately start spending $20,000 a month on traffic. You ramp it up. But you see, I'm making 5 times more than I'm spending, okay? So you make a lot more than you spend. This whole thing is scalable, like I'm going to show you. So let's work with smaller numbers, because I know a lot of people like to, use these giant numbers. I'm guilty too, right? I mean, I kind of talk about my $23.8 million that, I helped make, and some of that I got to keep for myself too with all these big launches. So that's how you get people's attention. But let's stay grounded in reality. All right, so let's say you're buying yourself some traffic, and if you spend 10 cents per visitor and you buy 1,000 visitors from Google or Yahoo or Banners or whatever, that's going to cost you $100, right? 1,000 visitors, 10 cents per visitor, going to cost you $100. Easy enough. Okay, now you're sending those folks to an opt-in page, right? Remember the little picture I showed you of the mass control site opt-in page? Opt-in pages are good. Sending pictures or sending visitors to a page like that. Okay, if your opt-in page converts at 20%, which is 20 people out of every 100 visitors are opting in, which is about normal for cold traffic. Cold traffic, by the way, is traffic that comes from search engines or whatever where they don't already know about you. Then you'd end up with 200 leads from that traffic, because 20% of 1,000 is 200. Believe it or not, I actually had to do that with a calculator just to make sure I didn't publicly screw up with basic math here on film. There's a chance I may too, so if I do, forgive me. All right, so now we know that. Now let's do some more math. Yeah, talk about sexy videos. Math. What if I'd advertised this video as a math video? Sign up now to get your math video. I'd have really gotten all 3 subscribers who are interested in math in the world. Okay. Here's what we know. We bought 1,000 clicks at 10 cents per click, so we spent $100 on traffic, right? That traffic converted at 20%, so we got 200 subscribers out of that. Therefore, our $100 purchase got us 200 subscribers, right? We spent $100, got 200 subscribers. So if you divide your $100 cost by your amount of subscribers, in this case it's 200, that means we paid 50 cents per subscriber. See, now we know what we're really doing. We're really just buying leads at this point. See, so now we know if we spend 50 cents, we're going to get a subscriber. Every subscriber is costing us 50 cents forever. Okay? That's an important number to know. All right, now here's where it gets cool. Okay? Let's say that you're able to convert 3% of your subscribers or your leads into buyers within the first week of having them on your list. This is about normal. Okay? This is actually kind of crappy, really. If you use mass control, I would certainly hope that you do a lot better. I would almost insist that you get a refund if it doesn't work any better than this for you. But let's just say you're only converting 3% of those subscribers into buyers within the first week of having them on your list. Now, you remember, that first week, you're giving them your best, coolest stuff, right? Well, you had 200 leads, right? So 3% of those folks is 6 sales, okay? Normal. All right, not fancy stuff, normal stuff. 3% of the leads, no big deal. Okay. If you're selling something for $97, that means those 6 sales would make you $582. Okay? Easy enough. So if we take out the $100 we spent to get the traffic and generate the leads in the first place, that means you would net $482. Easy, right? Pretty good money, though. Yeah, so you shouldn't freak out about buying traffic. If you do it right, it makes you money. But here's the totally coolest part. You still have the leads. Okay, you still have those leads. So you sold 6, well, you got 194 people who still haven't bought stuff. There's no law that says you can't email them anymore, right? If you're doing them right, they're going to want to hear from you all the time. So you can still convert some of those people into buyers. You can still promote affiliate offers to them. You can do yourself a fancy product launch to them. I mean, of course, we all know there's no money in product launches, right? Come on, that's ridiculous. But if you want to just, go crazy, you could attempt to do one of these product launches to them. Bottom line is, and I believe this firmly and will stand by this statement forever, I believe that good subscribers are as good as money in the bank. All right? And plus, remember, in this little example, you already made a net profit of $482. Now, we're using small numbers here. I'm not trying to dazzle you with this pie-in-the-sky big stuff. I mean, it's easy to generate 1,000 visitors, especially when you, advertise. It's not that hard. 10 cents a click is not impossible to get. That is after, well, let's see, started my niche businesses in late 2003. I'm still paying 10 cents per visitor from search engines. And sometimes I'll go hog wild and spike it up to 15 cents, but then I'll lower it down to 10 cents while I'm testing stuff. All right, so I still buy them for 10 cents. It's no big deal. Okay, so yeah, that's really all there is to it. That is the big magic. I don't know why people try to gloss over this whole thing. Yeah, I mean, you had to do a little math. Sorry, but now you see, okay? Buying a little bit of traffic, sending it to an opt-in page, that's what works, right? Okay, it's easy. That's also how I built my 400,000 person list for my niche businesses. And those businesses do okay. They bring in about $1 million per year, which is, I really still to this day, I'm amazed. I'm just like, how could things be so great? This is awesome. Forever grateful for that. So, maybe you should try this magic formula too. Okay? It's pretty cool. All right? So, by the way, I know some people are might want to declare shenanigans and say that my niche businesses don't really bring in about $1 million. I'll just show you one quick screenshot. If you look up there in the top right, this is my ClickBank account, one of 20-something active ClickBank accounts right now. Naturally, this is my coolest one. But if you look up there, it shows $813,000-something for 2007's paychecks. As the year ended, I started using a merchant account more than ClickBank, and then again, I've also got literally 20-something other ClickBank accounts, but unfortunately, they don't all look like this. Point being, I really do bring in $1 million a year with my niche businesses. And really, I don't think that's a big deal, but I guess it kind of proves that I know what I'm talking about in this regard anyway, right? Okay, so another big thing that freaks people out, which ends up, I guess, why people don't build lists, is they say, well, man, what do I give away? I don't know what to offer to get people to subscribe. And they freak out about it. Yeah, all right, no problem. Here's the old standby. Still works. The free report. If you act now, you also get the free report. The free report has been used forever in the direct response marketing industry, not just on the internet, but in the rest of the world. Everything, offline, online, sideways, whatever. Free report, you can't go wrong. Okay? If you've been around a long time, ever since 2003, way back in 2003, and you've been watching my stuff, you might remember a product I had called Info Millionaire, which was really one of my favorite little digital products about building businesses on the internet. My bribe, my thing that I gave away for that business was actually an audio series. And that worked out really well. So if you can talk into a microphone like I'm talking now and record it on a computer, you can give away a downloadable audio. People love that stuff. Okay? And of course you're familiar with this, videos, right? So in the internet marketing world, videos are really hot right now. And in any market, videos have got a high perceived value. So you give away all this stuff. It doesn't cost you anything to make it, a little time, right? I mean, yeah, I'm over here, I'm working on a Saturday making this video for you, but the goodwill I'm generating is enormous, right? People are probably going to join my list as a result of watching this video. It didn't cost me anything to make. Working once, probably going to get paid forever. It's a good idea. So, make one of these 3 things about whatever it is your market is into. As long as it's something your prospects can benefit from and get value from, you're gold. Okay? Don't overthink it. Who cares what the format is? Just give it to them and make sure it's good. That's the most important thing. Don't say, yeah, you're going to get a free report about blah, 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 and then have it suck. A bunch of PLR articles that give absolutely no value at all. Don't do that. That's where you kind of screw up, Give them something good, right? Give them something good now, they'll trust you, they'll buy from you later. Give them something good the first time they buy, they'll buy from you again. That's how this stuff works. That's how the big businesses are built. I know from firsthand experience, okay? So here's the next big hang up, which is unfortunately not really asked enough. Okay, this should be like in the biggest question, but it's not. And that is, how do I turn people into buyers? Okay, this is what nobody really teaches you. All right, sure, they talk about writing sales letters and stuff, but nobody really talks about cultivating a large group of people, turning them into raving fans of yours by giving them excellent value, and then converting those raving fans into customers, and those customers into repeat customers, and into people who recommend you. That is it. That's really, folks, I'm telling you, that's all there is to it, to having a wildly successful business. You generate some people. You turn those folks into friends, fans, whatever you want to call them, by giving them cool stuff. And then you turn those folks into buyers, repeat buyers, and people who refer you. That's it. It's very simple. And this is what Mass Control does to perfection. Now, this is about the perfect time for me to start pitching Mass Control, right? But I'm not going to. It's not the time for that. The fact of the matter is, what people and gurus don't realize is the money isn't really in the list. It's in the relationship with the list. So when we say the money's in the list, the money's in the list, the money's in the list, it's not really in the list. Like a list that you abuse and that hates you is worthless. Okay? The money is in the relationship with your list. Once you create a great relationship with your list, you are set for life. I mean, I could bring out the little fancy graphic with the extremely awesome animated graphics and flames and stuff that really is much cooler than Andy Jenkins' animation, that shows you how I made all that money with 7,200 something people. That was a tiny list, but my relationship with him was huge. It was huge. They gave me $1 million in a combined period of 54 minutes, and they wanted to give me more. I couldn't take more because I promised I would limit my seats to the serializer. Right? They gave Ed and I $1 million over the course of the year. We did 2 promotions to that list to generate that income. If you create a great relationship with your list, you are set for life. Okay? It's simple. So here are the simple steps to do it. Okay? First of all, you want to rise above the noise and be different from everybody else. Okay, and I don't mean be different just for the sake of being different. Just if you blend in, you're like, if you walk in the forest wearing camouflage, nobody's going to see you. Okay, and that's cool if you want to sneak up on somebody, but you don't want to sneak up on people in marketing. You want them looking right at you, paying attention to every word you say. And the way you do that is you be different. Now, the way I'm able to differentiate myself in the marketing community lots of times is because I'm very laid back. And I'm very hype-free, and I just give people cool stuff. So right now, you probably are getting lots of messages saying stupid crap like, you don't need to build a list. This system will be able to work without having a customer or a website, without selling anything. You basically can just fly and sit around and watch carrots grow, and you'll make money. So you're getting bombarded with that stuff, and I'm here saying, hey, you need to build a list, and here's some instruction and value on how to do it, and that's how I rise above the noise. So you can rise above the noise in the same way. Right? If you're selling gardening stuff, instead of giving lame little articles about gardening, you give them videos showing here's how, here's how to dig the hole to plant the tomato plant in, or whatever. You see what I mean, though. Go the extra mile there. Rise above the noise. Be different. Stand up and step up, and you'll do good. Promise. It'll work. Whether you buy my stuff or not. You follow this advice I'm giving you right now, and you will prosper. Okay? Give excellent value. I mean, novel concept, right? This reminds me of my friend Eben Pagan. Okay, you probably remember Eben from the altitude business. He had his altitude seminars $10,000 a head. He didn't even do a big fancy launch for it, right? And people just flocked to it. People flew from all over the world, took a week away from their business, and gave the guy $10,000 to listen to what he had to say. Why? Because the value that he gave prior to launching that seminar was huge. Same if you look at Jeff Walker. The guy's just constantly giving you these case study after case study of just excellent, valuable information. So when he sells something, his list responds. You look at this most recent StomperNet launch, both of them. These guys gave videos for free that changed people's lives. They had people writing in, I watched your video, I'm #1 on Google, I'm getting traffic, I'm making money. Thanks, guys. You saved me from having to get a job. My wife's not mad at me anymore, whatever it may be. You give value, excellent value, not just value, excellent value. You got a good relationship now, right? These people know, like, and trust you. This is great. Okay, third thing. Oh, and of course, don't let me leave out our man John Reese. right? Like John Reese was the first person to ever do a really big launch. Well, he'd been giving incredibly good value, just pouring his heart and soul into helping people for over a year before he ever sold anything. Value. Help people out, That whole karma thing, it's real, all right? Third, hey, here's a novel idea. Be a straight shooter. Listen, no one's going to believe a bunch of crap. I mean, you'll have like maybe a tiny percentage of people who will just survive off of hype, right? I mean, if I made these videos and they were all hype and all my stuff was hype and I was like, yes, you're going to make $1 billion in mass control. All you have to do is just sit around and think about stuff and money will fall from the ceiling and land in your lap. I'd probably get some people might buy stuff from me. Yeah, I mean, sure, but not a lot. Right? I wouldn't have a relationship with those people after that, would I? And the people who didn't buy stuff from me, you can guarantee I wouldn't have any credibility with them. So I certainly wouldn't be able to turn that list that I'm building into a lifelong asset, would I? Hell no, because I was bullshitting them. So you can't do that. And I'm not saying that you would, but I know that you're seeing it happen. Okay? I know you're witnessing this because you're in this community, right? And, we see a lot of crap in this community. So what I'm telling you is, just because you see a lot of other people doing it, doesn't mean it's okay. Okay? I know you know this, and I know you would never do it, but I just need to say it anyway, because, hey, that's one of the simple steps, right? And here's a really big one. Help people decide that they want your stuff instead of convincing them. Nobody likes a salesman, really. Nobody wants to be convinced of anything. But if you help them come to their own conclusion by giving them value and showing them how you're going to benefit their lives, that's where the true sale is made. And that's where you'll be able to continue making sales. And that's where you have influence over this person in a positive way for a long time. All right? Mutually beneficial. Simple. Nobody does it. Don't know why? Hey, maybe I'm glad they don't. Hey, if everybody did this stuff already, I wouldn't be able to teach this course and sell it. I'd be out of a job right now. That wouldn't be any fun. Okay. Finally, you use audio, video, teleseminars, and email to communicate with people if you want to really build a relationship. The reason why is multimedia, or multiple modalities, really, is the best way to communicate. Okay? The written word can have an entirely different meaning than the spoken word versus them watching you say something. For example, if I show you, if I write down on a piece of paper, I'm going to kill that guy, and it just says, I just hand you a piece of paper, like I pass it under the door, so you can't see me at all, and it's just a piece of paper that says, I'm going to kill that guy. You would look at that piece of paper and you're like, good Lord, what's this? I got to get out of here. This is freaking me out, right? So that's scenario one. Okay, that's just one little mode of communication. That's like the equivalent, metaphorically, of just like using email, right? That's just one little thing, the written word. Okay, the whole meaning of that thing is up for grabs right now. But then if I'm talking to you on the phone and I say it to you like this, I go, I'm going to kill that guy. Totally different meaning. Now you know that I'm probably not really going to kill somebody. Now you can hear from the tonality of my voice that someone did something, I thought it was kind of funny, I'm going to get him. I could just kill that guy. You know what I mean? Now, if I'm standing in front of you and I got I'm like shrugging and laughing, I'm saying, I'm gonna kill that guy when I see him. You aren't gonna believe what he did. He hid my car keys from me just to watch me run around, and he laughed the whole time. I tell you what, totally different meaning, isn't it? Okay, it's but it's the same words, right? So when you use audio, video, teleseminars, and email to communicate, that's when the relationship becomes strong, especially if the message you're giving is always of value, always, always, always value. That is when you really build the strong, lifelong relationship with the list, okay? And that's how you get them to give you money over and over and over again, okay? So here's why this works. Psychology 101. Maybe this is so basic that it's not even 101. Maybe this is like Psychology 100. Fact is, you and I will pretty much only trust two types of people, okay? We're pretty much only going to trust our friends, or we're going to trust someone who's in a position of authority, all right? Usually that's going to be just about it. That's human nature, by the way. It has nothing to do with me or you personally. That's just the way the human species, is. That's the way it goes, all right? For example, like a complete unknown person, comes into our house and starts telling us how great something is, we're not going to trust him. We might say, get the hell out of here, pal. I don't know you. Beat it. But if our friend comes in and, tells us that like broccoli is good for you or whatever, and then we might trust him. The Surgeon General comes in, tells us broccoli is good for us, then we're really going to trust him, right? That's just the way it is. Duh, okay? You knew this, right? Well, the thing about mass control is that it turns you into both. Your prospects see you as their friend and as a person of authority. So, if being someone's friend causes them to trust you, and being a person of authority causes them to trust you, well, if you're friend and person of authority, they're like twice as likely, really exponentially more likely to trust you and follow your advice, providing, again, I know I'm beating this to death, providing that you're always giving them value, okay? You're always being straight up with them and you're always looking out for their best interests. All right? So let me give you an example. StomperNet. Okay? That's a little, I believe that was the biggest launch that was in our marketing community's history so far. Okay? Well, you remember all those videos this fella's made? Just saying. Mass control. All right. Anyway, I worked with them on that. Thank you very much. No need to applaud, really. But anyway, you remember all those videos they made? You felt like you knew them. You see Andy there. He's hanging out. He's talking to you. You smile and laughing. You know you like the guy. He's a nice, likable guy. Right? So you feel like you know him. You feel like they become your friends. Right? And then the content that they showed you, no mistaking the fact that they are people of authority when it comes to traffic, SEO, Web 2.0 stuff. They're authority. Right? I mean, you're like, okay, this is the SEO guys. They are the authoritative figures on SEO and Web 2.0 stuff. Okay? Well, they combined the friend plus authority thing, and just so happens, they have one of the biggest businesses in the history of our community. When I say our community, I mean this little internet marketing community you and I are both in, right? The biggest business in the history of our community. So that's the end of this video. The next one in the series is done and ready for you. It should redirect for you in just a second. And this one I'm going to show you how to set up an autoresponder, how to follow up with your prospects, or rather I'm going to show you how to set up the follow-up messages. I'm going to show you how to make an opt-in form. And then I have given you a done-for-you opt-in page that you can edit and use immediately. So you can just slap this thing up on the internet and start collecting leads. So this video should redirect right to that second video. If it doesn't, just click the link below. Okay, see you in a sec.